So 2015, you said, was the first TTB show you went to, Atlantic City.
2016.
But you had discovered Susan and Derek in around 2005,
Yes.
2006, but you didn't see either of them live at that
But
point.
neither of them I had seen live at that point. It was just, the venues just weren't on my radar, I don't think. But then I've been hearing enough on XPN of them that, I just had to get to see it, because it was really, I got to be honest, it was really Susan that I really went to see because of her voice. The blues that I heard on XPN from her solo stuff was just incredible. And I just had, I was like, I got to go see these guys. So if by that time they were combined, and I already learned that through the station that they combine their bands. So I said, all right, well, let me, it was Atlantic City. Let me go check it out. And, from the first note with Tedeschi trucks, they just blow you away. It really is. And for me, you've heard my history there's so much there, but these guys just blew me away. I mean, just blew me away. And Adam, I'm telling you, best live act I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot. As I've said, I've seen a lot. In my opinion, they are the best live act that I've ever seen. And they're so consistent about it. Show after show, just so consistently good. But yeah, that Atlantic City show, we walked out. It was weird because it was it's about an hour drive from where we live to Atlantic City, and my buddy and I, and it was pouring rain, just a nasty drive down there. And I hate those nerve-wracking drives. So it was kind of like, in a kind of weird kind of state to begin with. It was kind of, it was kind of irritated kind of thing. And I was spoiled at that time. I've been to a lot of shows and, so I'm like, why did I get these tickets? And so we got in there and from the first note, and I am I'm an old man and I don't dance. My wife, she can barely get me out on a dance floor. But Tedeschi trucks, I found myself moving ways that I never knew I could. So, that was something that told me, that these guys were really good. You get this old man moving, you're damn good. The Dead might have done it once or twice. If some of these artists got in a groove once or twice, but a whole show like Tedeschi Trucks does with me, nah, it's crazy. And that's the way it was from that very first show. It was like that. We walked down on that board, and I remember walking down the Atlantic City boardwalk, and thinking, wow, what a show. And we both looked at each other and said, can you believe that? Can you believe that? And we just kind of like, did we just see what we just saw? Was that for real? So we were hooked. I was hooked.
May 14th, 2016, was that the show?
Yep, that was it.
Boardwalk Hall, Atlantic City. I pull up the set list on setlist.fm here. Don't know what it means. Like from that first note of that song, I'm sure that's like, mind blowing and a very upbeat song. And that kind of song almost, it's not a disco song, but it kind of does. I think of it as like a dance song or an upbeat song or like more like a funky 70s kind of like thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely got that vibe to it.
Yeah.
I might as well share this right now. Let's take a look at it. But before I do, I wanted to reply to something you said. Because you said they're the best band you've ever seen live, and that really does mean a lot, and I think carries a lot of weight because you've seen so many acts and because you've seen so many iconic acts. And I appreciate you saying that because for me, I usually just say they're the best band right now, or they're the best band touring, or they have the best live shows. But like to say that they're the best band of all time or the best live band of all time, I'm not really in a position to say that. And obviously this stuff is all subjective anyway, but to hear that from someone who's seen James Taylor, Billy Joel, Elton John, the Kinks, and all these other acts that you mentioned, it means something.
And the reason I say that is because, some of these guys are real high quality, like ELO, they'll blow your doors off, as far as quality is concerned. Jeff Lynne's voice is impeccable. but it's they don't have the depth and the 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 live quality of the Tedeschi trucks, where Derek just kind of they I don't want to say wing it, but they they go into spaces that they didn't know they were going to go before the show started. And they take everybody with them, and it's so fun every time. It's great. And that's what every once in a while the Dead would get in that groove, and they're probably the most comparable that I can. Every once in a while the Dead would get into a groove. Jerry and the Dead would get into a groove like the Tedeschi trucks do, but never on a consistent basis like these guys do. I mean, the jams that they can bring, and the depth. When Derek can just turn to one guy in the band or one girl in the band, and just give it to them, and they just take it. And then you see him, he takes it back, right, and then he kind of nods to somebody else, and they take it, and he nods to somebody else, and they take it, and you go to 5 shows in a row like we have, it's not the same. They're not. These spots are not rehearsed.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. There just is nothing like it.
It truly is. So, but yeah, but yeah, it's and it still excites me when I talk about him. I don't know if you could see it in my eyes, but it still excites me when I talk about him. Because
for sure.
Spend a lot.
I hear
spend a lot.
There.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I got the set list. The set list here. I was gonna see if you recall any other memories from that first TTV show. Don't know what it means. Don't know what it means. The letter anyhow. Laugh about it. Midnight in Harlem. Done somebody wrong. Sticks and Stones. Idlewind. Color of the Blues. It makes no difference with Amy Helm. Did a couple of songs with her. Let Me Get By. That did it. And Bound for Glory is what I'm seeing here. I would be thrilled to see this set list.
What a set! What a set! Right? How can you argue with that?
I'm not going to.
I mean, when she broke into the letter that time, I mean, when she does the letter, it's amazing. I can remember after that one looking at my friend and just going, wow, just wow,